The Arctic may seem remote, a distant and untouched wilderness at the very top of our planet, far removed from the hustle and bustle of our daily lives. But in reality, its fate is deeply and inextricably tied to ours, no matter where we live on Earth. The melting ice isn't just a distant warning for the future. It's a force that is actively shaping our world right now, in ways both visible and hidden. The weather you experience, the food you eat, and the safety of our coastlines are all being affected by changes in the Arctic. From devastating floods to unpredictable harvests, the ripple effects are already being felt in communities around the globe. For thousands of years, the Arctic acted as Earth's natural air conditioner, reflecting sunlight and helping to stabilize our climate, keeping temperatures in check for the entire planet. But as the ice disappears at an alarming rate, that crucial system is breaking down, leaving us more vulnerable to climate extremes. Rising sea levels, shifting ocean currents, and more frequent intense weather events are all symptoms of this dramatic change. These aren't just future threats, they're happening now. The Arctic is not just a symbol of climate change, it's the engine driving it, accelerating changes that reach far beyond the polar circle. What happens there doesn't stay there. It ripples across the globe, touching every continent and every community. Scientists are racing to understand these changes, drilling deep into ancient ice and studying the shifting landscape to uncover what the future may hold. Let's look closer at why this matters to all of us. The Arctic story is our story, a story of balance, disruption, and urgent connection. It's about people, cultures, and livelihoods, all intertwined with the fate of this frozen land. By understanding what's happening in the north, we can better prepare for and face the challenges ahead, working together to find solutions. The future is arriving faster in the Arctic than anywhere else on Earth, serving as a stark preview of what may come for the rest of the world. What happens in this frozen realm will help determine the fate of our shared home. The choices we make now will echo for generations to come. The Arctic's vast white ice acts like a giant mirror, reflecting sunlight and keeping our planet cool. This is called the albedo effect, and it's crucial for Earth's climate. As the ice melts, dark ocean water is exposed, absorbing more heat and accelerating warming. This creates a dangerous feedback loop. More melting leads to more warming, and so on. The Arctic is warming more than twice as fast as the rest of the planet because of this cycle. Every patch of lost ice is replaced by heat-trapping ocean, amplifying global warming. The Arctic's air conditioner is failing, and the consequences are just beginning to unfold. This isn't just a local problem, it's a global tipping point. The loss of the Arctic's white shield is speeding up climate change everywhere. The feedback loop is powerful, and once it gains momentum, it's hard to stop. The shield is failing and the world is feeling the effects. In 1979, satellites began tracking Arctic sea ice, marking the start of a new era in our understanding of the polar regions. For the first time, scientists could observe the Arctic from above, capturing detailed images that revealed the true extent of the ice. These satellite records have given us a clear, unbroken timeline of the Arctic's decline, showing year after year how the ice has steadily diminished. What began as a slow, almost imperceptible trend has accelerated into a rapid and alarming loss, with each passing decade revealing more dramatic changes. In 2007, the Arctic sea ice hit a record low, far beyond what scientists expected at the time, sending shockwaves through the scientific community and raising urgent questions about the future. Just 5 years later, in 2012, that record was shattered again as the ice retreated even further, breaking previous minimums and setting a new, troubling benchmark. The Arctic's transformation is happening within a single human lifetime. People who grew up seeing vast, unbroken ice now witness a landscape that is almost unrecognizable. The ice isn't just shrinking in area, it's getting thinner and younger, replaced by fragile, seasonal ice that melts more easily and offers less protection to the ecosystem. What was once a permanent multi-year ice cap is now becoming seasonal, with much of the Arctic Ocean freezing and thawing each year. A dramatic shift from the past. Today, scientists no longer ask if the Arctic will be ice-free in summer, but when it will happen. Projections suggest this could occur within decades, or even sooner. The timeline of disappearance is accelerating, with each year writing a new chapter in this unfolding story. The final pages are being written now, before our eyes. Each summer, more of the Arctic Ocean is open water, allowing ships to travel routes that were once blocked by thick, impenetrable ice. The loss is visible, measurable, and undeniable. Photographs and scientific measurements tell the same story. The Arctic is vanishing. The Arctic's rapid change is one of the most significant environmental shifts our planet has ever seen, with consequences that reach far beyond the polar circle. The clock is ticking and the world is watching. What happens in the Arctic will shape the future for us all. For Arctic indigenous peoples, these changes are personal and immediate. The ice that once supported travel and hunting is now unpredictable and dangerous. Traditional knowledge, passed down for generations, is being upended by a rapidly changing environment. Hunters face new risks as old routes become unsafe, and weather patterns grow erratic. Animals like seals and caribou are struggling as their habitats shift. This isn't just about lost hunting grounds, it's a profound cultural loss. Elders describe the ice as a friend who has become sick and unreliable. The changes threaten food security, identity, and the very fabric of Arctic communities. Indigenous voices are vital. They witness the transformation firsthand, and often see changes before science does. Their struggle is a stark warning about the human cost of climate change. The Arctic's decline is not just an environmental crisis, but a human one. The Arctic's permafrost, ground frozen for thousands of years, is now thawing rapidly. This frozen ground is the foundation for ecosystems, communities, and infrastructure. As it thaws, roads buckle, buildings crack, and entire landscapes collapse. But the bigger threat is what's locked inside. Vast stores of carbon frozen for millennia. Thawing permafrost releases carbon dioxide and methane, powerful greenhouse gases, into the atmosphere. This creates another feedback loop. More warming leads to more thawing, which releases more greenhouse gases. The permafrost holds twice as much carbon as is currently in our atmosphere. If released, it could push our climate past a dangerous tipping point. The ground is literally sinking beneath Arctic communities, and the world is at risk. The permafrost carbon feedback could trigger runaway warming. The sleeping giant is waking, and its impact will be global. As the ice retreats, the Arctic is opening up to new opportunities and new risks. Shipping lanes like the Northern Sea Route and Northwest Passage are now navigable, attracting global interest. Nations are competing for control over these routes and the resources beneath the ice. The Arctic holds vast reserves of oil, gas, and minerals, tempting countries to exploit them. This creates a paradox. The fossil fuels that melted the ice are now easier to access because the ice is gone. The rush for resources brings the risk of spills and pollution in a fragile environment. The Arctic is no longer a distant wilderness. It's a new frontier for economic and strategic competition. The choices we make here will shape the region's future. Will the Arctic become a zone of cooperation or a battleground for exploitation? Its fate, and ours, hangs in the balance. The Arctic's warming is disrupting weather patterns far beyond the north. The shrinking temperature difference between the Arctic and the equator is weakening the jet stream. A weaker jet stream meanders, causing extreme weather to linger, heat waves, floods, and cold snaps. When the jet stream dips south, it brings frigid air to places unaccustomed to it. When it bulges north, it pulls heat and moisture into higher latitudes, fueling droughts and wildfires. These stuck patterns lead to more intense storms and prolonged weather extremes. The chaos we see in our own backyards, unusual storms, relentless heat, or flooding, often starts with changes in the Arctic. The Arctic's instability is now manifesting as weather chaos worldwide. The connection is clear. What happens in the north shapes the weather everywhere. The Arctic's breath is on us all. The Arctic has long been Earth's guardian, reflecting sunlight and stabilizing our climate. Its vast frozen expanse acts as a mirror, bouncing the sun's rays back into space and helping to keep our planet cool. For centuries, this icy shield has quietly protected life as we know it. Now, that guardian is in peril. And so are we. As the Arctic melts at an unprecedented rate, the balance it once provided is slipping away, threatening not just polar wildlife, but people everywhere. The changes in the Arctic mirror our own actions and remind us how deeply connected we all are. Every ton of carbon released, every forest cleared, echoes in the far north, and the consequences ripple back to us. The fate of distant coastlines, farms, and cities is tied to the health of the polar ice. Rising seas, extreme weather, and shifting seasons are all linked to what happens in the Arctic. This challenge is daunting, but it's also a call to action. Around the world, people are rising to meet it, demanding change, innovating solutions, and refusing to give up hope. The same connections that spread the impacts of a melting Arctic can also spread hope. Our shared efforts, big and small, can inspire others and create a wave of positive change. By reducing emissions and protecting natural systems, we can slow the warming and give the Arctic a chance to recover. Clean energy, conservation, and restoration are powerful tools in our hands. The future isn't written yet. The choices we make now matter. Every decision, from what we eat to how we vote, shapes the world our children will inherit. Learn about the Arctic, talk about it, and act. Share what you know, join conversations, and encourage others to care. The more we understand, the more we care, and the more we'll do. Knowledge is the first step toward meaningful action. The Arctic's silent warning is a call to protect our planet. Its changes are not distant. They are urgent signals for us all. What happens far away can change life at home. The Arctic's story is our story, and its fate is tied to our own. Protecting the Arctic is about protecting ourselves. Together, we can choose a future where both the North and our communities thrive.